Well, hello. Mandii is back, y'all. We got her. We've done it. They said we couldn't, but we did. Mandii, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. It's so
pumped.
good to see you again. I'm so excited to be here.
Dude, ditto. Foo's in the house. Already we are done.
Yes.
Close the door. Close the gates. Close the gates. Yo, Matt Lawson, VO, thank you for coming through, Prince. Another voiceover actor. Deep respect. As
He is an absolute lord.
That's awesome.
Can confirm.
Does Matt stream? Because I would like to follow him if that's the case.
Matt does stream sometimes, but he is also a player on my Friday game on the Dinglings
No way.
game.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he's
how I
Hebron.
know him.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Mandii, thank you for the subscription. That's so sweet. Janslow's back. Let's go.
Hey.
Alexandria, guys, we are lit up. Okay, Matt,
Hell
I know
yeah.
exactly. Matt plays the gentleman, the half-orc
Nope.
fighter.
That's Seth.
That's it. Okay.
Nope.
But is he the gentleman with the shadow? Or am I making that up? I'm just trying to.
His character does have a beard. Yeah, it's Hebron. He's the warlock.
The warlock.
He's the lordy.
Okay, yes,
Lord
yes,
Hebron.
yes.
Lord Hebron
Matt,
Armitage in the house.
I love your work, dude. That is so funny. Thank you for joining us. We are chilling. I truly could not be more thrilled. Mandii, this was one of the first times that I actually succeeded in the triumvirate of alerting my Discord, tweeting about it, and then also remembering to update the go live notification.
I have taught you well.
Seriously, I'm tempted to like call it here and end the stream. We're gonna
Peaked, everybody. Peaked.
Yeah, exactly. We've Costanza'd and now we're out. Dark Lord of Waterdeep. Yes. Okay, now I hear it.
Yes.
Oh, that's so good. Alexandria, I hope you're doing so well, man.
He is the Dark Lord
You're
of
awesome.
Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Goth's boyfriend over here.
I am feeling it. I'm feeling it to the max. Okay, well, those of you that don't know the Mandii, she's an amazing DM, an amazing storyteller, runs several actual plays, streams quite a bit. But Mandii, could you introduce yourself? Because I don't want to leave anything out.
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm Mandii. I'm a professional dungeon master. I write for TTRPGs. I write for myself. I do the things and the stuff. You can find me on Twitch at the Mandii. Actually, you can find me all over the internet at the Mandii. That's Mandii with 2 eyes. Seriously, just Google me. I'm very easy to find. But yeah, that's me. And I have a new actual play coming out in 7 days.
Dude,
oh no.
7 days. So it comes out next Wednesday.
7 days.
2/8.
Yes. Yes.
I'm curious, the dingalings, I'm sure, gave you their blessing. They were like, you know what, get out there.
I'm pretty sure they're jealous. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's
They're
literally
do you
why I
like
said
the other players more than us? I'm like, don't make me choose. Actually, that is on stream. There are clips of that. Do you like them more than us? How dare you do this to me?
That is so
I love
good.
Everybody equally. But yes, MistLost is coming out next week, February 8th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be epic. It's fully homebrewed, and we will absolutely be talking about that quite a bit today. So
Yes.
if you have any questions, put them in chat now before we get ADHD and forget.
Yeah, seriously. Jam them in on the front end. No, I am staying pointed on this. I love the Misfits, aka the Dinglings. Like I feel like I've taken in an easy 15 to 20 hours of y'all's campaign.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for your support.
And it's fun. Well, no, truly, I enjoy D&D. I enjoy fun storytelling. But I think one thing that's absolutely at a premium for me is a table that enjoys each other. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like they're there's so much play and you guys give and take so much. It's clear that there's a high level of trust, a high level of comfortability, right? And so I'm just curious, for a DM that maybe has a little bit of experience and wants to run an actual play, could you kind of walk us through, maybe start with the Misfits a little bit, and then we can talk about how you've begun prepping for MistLost?
Yeah, we can absolutely talk about the Dinglings, 100%. I do like calling them the Misfits now. I might start doing that, especially because I like listening to the Misfits, so that's kind of funny to me, but I digress. With the Dinglings game, and I emphasize this time and again on all platforms that ask me about it, we work so well and have such a high level of trust is because we are friends. We've been playing for quite some time. Dinglings Call Beyond the Wilds the campaign that I'm DMing is actually the second campaign with the same characters that we have been in together.
Yes, that's right.
I was a player in the first campaign, and I recruited everybody to join. They were all my friends separately and did not know each other. And now we're like family because we've been playing for so long together. Oh, yeah. And in between Dingaling's campaign 1 and Dingaling's campaign 2, I DM'd Tomb of Annihilation for them. So like we have, we have offline? Like that was online. Okay, but I don't. It's not on. I didn't put it on YouTube or anything like that because I was doing it for another channel and then it switched over to my channel, so it's kind of hard to keep track of everything.
I know that dance. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of moving around. Still a lot of fun. We'll never play Tomb of Annihilation again. We'll never go to Cholt again, although Cholt was fun for part of it. It was quite a slog. But really, that's the number one thing. And if you are a DM and you don't have a lot of close friends who are willing to do an actual play with you, not willing to be on camera or what have you, because really that's key. Yeah. Either that or have like a really good PNG tuber or VTuber setup if you have people who don't want to be on camera, right. Which is also really hard to do. But really the key of it is being able to see people. There's a lot of reasons for that people don't think of, such as like people with disabilities who need to read lips. Yeah. Especially if subtitles are not an easily like addable thing to your stream. There are resources out there, but I digress. But if you don't have people that are willing to do that, the really important thing to do is to vet your players. Yeah. Interview them. Don't just take anybody off the street. Yes, also facial expressions and arm movements. Absolutely. Very good point, Matt.
Yes. Absolutely.
Being able to see the expressions to get that emotional context that you might not get otherwise, that doesn't necessarily come through in tone or come through just from reading lips.
1,000%. And just real quick, Mandy, because those are all like so critical. And I want
so many points all in one. I'm sorry.
No, I love it. I love it. I love getting pointed. Okay, let's get very pointed. Yes. But before we dive into sort of like the vetting and that process, because that's amazing and so critical and probably not done enough, I just really want to co-sign like the need to have all of your players on board for the actual play. And maybe even further than that. And Alexander, you're right, bringing people together via RPGs. That's the Lord's work, right?
Yes.
But it is all of those things. It's like you want to have somebody, or at least a full table, that is going to be pumped and going to be there, but also that like is okay with it. Because like you said, like the vlogging setup can be, kind of CPU heavy, and if everyone doesn't have a setup for that, it can obviously kind of just slow down your OBS or whatever you're using to broadcast. But but whenever you're going around, and if it is particularly vetting amongst a group of strangers or the internet, God forbid, like what does that look like, Mandy? Like what did that look like for you with MistLost?
So for MistLost, what I did was I looked at other open calls, casting calls for other TTRPG games as like a guideline to be like, okay, what are the pertinent questions to ask? What's the important information I need to know up front before I even get to the point of interviewing someone? Or selecting them. So things like, what are your social media handles? And they better be public, because if they're not, you're automatically disqualified.
So great. You got secrets?
If I can't look you up, I can't vet you. Yeah. I can't just take your word for it, because as a DM, as a showrunner, as a creator, I have a duty and it's my job to make sure that everybody at the table is safe.
Yeah.
Like mentally, physically, emotionally, all those things. I have to make sure that everybody at the table is at least somewhat on the same page enough that we can work together without there being problems. I've seen so many actual plays fall apart because of breakdowns in communication, not having the right expectations, not having the same values. Those kinds of things are very important. And just knowing how to respect people's boundaries and things like that, safety tools and stuff like that.
That's so easy to see the value of, but also I feel like I don't hear a ton of that happening. I mean, obviously, like Lines and Veils. I mean, a lot of people will run safety tools as part of their session 0, but you're absolutely right. I mean, if you're looking at hanging out for 2 years or whatever, 6 months, however long you plan the campaign to run, that's something that that obviously you want to make sure is copacetic and can be continue to be copacetic. So what do those vetting kind of, keynotes look like? Like let's say that somebody does have, a public Twitter account. They have however many followers or whatever, outside of like the glaring, sort of, like red flag.
Yes, other than the glaring red flags.
Triggers, like what is that? Are you asking specific questions? Are you?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So on the application itself, beyond just asking for the social media, asking for what they like to do, how much experience they have, all those things. But then when it comes to actually vetting and looking them up on social media, Google them. Google their name, Google their username, look at their likes tab on Twitter, look at who they're following on Twitter, look at who they're following on other platforms, like whatever you can get your hands on to look at, even if it's just like a cursory glance, like you scroll for like 10 minutes on like each platform or whatever, maybe not even 10 minutes, but just enough to get a general vibe for like what kind of content they're putting out there, because really a lot of people forget that I can go onto your Twitter page and look at who you follow. I can go onto your Twitter page and look at what you're clicking the like button on. That's public.
Yeah.
I can see that. So if you're liking stuff that's really sus or really problematic in some form or another, or I see you replying to people in a problematic way on Twitter in a public forum, then you're not going to be a right fit for me, because I have a duty, again, to protect the people at the table and make sure that everybody is okay. And make sure that everybody can work together enough to be safe about it.
No, that's 1,000% correct. It is taking every drop of professionalism to let my duty just slide on by, to not comment on it, to not circle in on it, to not hone in. No, but you're absolutely right, man. Like, and I hope I will speak for myself, but I'm sure I'm speaking for perhaps the majority of the stream. Like, there is no greater like cutting insight and perhaps like greater fear of mine than being called before some sort of council and having them go through my Twitter likes. You know what I'm saying? They're like, John, this is a bunch of puns, a bunch of very bad comedy, and dice porn. Like, you need to stop. Yes. You need to stop with it. Step back.
You have a problem.
Yeah, don't buy any more fucking rocks, dude. That's amazing.
No more rocks.
Like, stop it with the rocks. So Mandii, that's so valuable to hear. Like, and I remember scoping out and being really impressed with your submission process. So let's say now that you've gotten like, 100 submissions and you've gone through them, I'm sure you immediately threw out like half, or
more
something.
Than that.
More than that, got it. And you know what? Before I even finish, I want to just touch on Alexandria, because that's so true, that it's not even enough to mesh, right? It's almost like an alchemical balancing of the different components. Because if you have, individual components that are all rad, but two of them or three of them together are highly combustible, then like, that's going to explode the beaker of this metaphor. We got to finish the stream. This is as good as it's going to get. But I'm curious though, Mandii, like if you were moving into that phase 2, right? Like what did that look like? Was that individual conversations or?
So basically what it was I had the submission process open for applying to MistLost for a month. And in that month, I received over 80 applications for MistLost.
Damn, cool.
I always knew phase 2 was going to be pick top 10 and talk to all of those top 10, and then from that, pick the cast.
Got you.
Cool. And I also had and have an understudy in case anybody has to drop out for any reason, awesome. Or if anybody has to walk away. So I do have a backup player who I already know is a culture fit, a personality fit, a safe player to invite into the game if something happens.
Dude, that's. I don't know why I'm like stunned by that. That's so rad to me. I just got done with an understudy run, and it's like as an actor in LA, and it's weird because you get a rate and you're working, but you're not always going on, and that sort of need to stay prepped is really fucking wild. But I'm so in this case, and I don't mean to derail, I want to hear about now you talking to these 10, but in the case of the understudy, was this person part of that original 10 and like super Oh, okay, got it.
Totally outside of the process. Well, they did apply. However, they are a trusted friend of mine. They are a mod in my community. Those of you who follow me, who are in chat, you may be familiar with Spectre Faye. She is a longtime friend of mine, a longtime mod of mine, and so I know that her values align with mine, and that I know I can trust her with all of my little secrets, and all of those things. And I know from years and years of knowing her. You know, she's up in Canada, so really long distance friendship. But from years of knowing her, I know that, you know, she's not problematic and she's not going to blow up my table.
No, hey, listen, we act like we throw it away. That is valuable. You want that. You want that on file. That's amazing. So you kind of source that more from your personal network. That to me also seems really, really wise, because then you're guaranteeing, right, someone that you know what they're bringing to the table, how they play. And Matt, completely agree, brother. Like, as I'm reaching for like some of my vaults, I'm like, okay, I got to get this out of my eye line.
We're doing this now?
Yeah, it's like, listen, we can all agree none of us has a problem, okay?
I don't have a problem at all. I don't have dice literally right here.
No, dude, that's a strength, Mandii. That's a strength.
Listen, I just, you know, you can't see because of my lighting, but it's so pretty.
That's absolutely gorgeous, yeah. And Janslow, I hope you do, man. I hope you do whip up. I mean, like,
make that actual
make that happen, and then like toss out the Bugle Blast. Exactly. Like, I want to talk to you about it. I want to get you on here once you've done it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the 10. You've now reached out to them, right? And was this, you know, on Discord? Did you end up having a full-on video conference, or?
Yes. So I had individual video calls with all of the top 10 on Discord. Part of the application process was to provide your Discord username so that I can contact you if you get in, and all of those other things. So I had individual calls, and I had after the first interview, I should say, I'm going to be totally transparent here.
Please.
I went into the first interview thinking I knew what to say and what to ask, and then I went, fuck, no, I don't. But thankfully, the first person I interviewed was very gracious and very experienced with these things and gave me a lot of really great feedback and suggestions on what I can ask. And so I actually did that and went back and asked them again the answers to those questions were, and then I did that for every single person of the top 10 afterwards. Everybody got asked the same exact questions, usually about like safety tools, roleplay style, what you're looking for out of the game, are you okay with the timing, all this stuff. Yeah. You know, is there anything I need to know, that kind of thing. And so everybody in the top 10 got asked the same questions and all of that. So that was, a lot of it was to gauge whether or not they would mesh. So beyond the safety aspect, which was huge for me because it's been a very long time since I've put together a game with people I didn't know well or know at all in that instance. Some of the people who I cast for MistLost, I had almost no prior knowledge of or friendship with.
Interesting. Wow.
And I did that once before and it did not go well.
And that was also an actual play? Or...
It was going to be a podcast. Cool. It wasn't something that was live streamed, but it fell apart before it started.
Oh, dang.
And so I was very afraid of that happening again. And so I wanted to be as thorough as humanly possible this time around because MistLost is too important to me to let that blow up.
Yeah, and you put so much work into it. I mean, I totally get that. Man, well, okay. I'm sure that was then a really hard call, right? I mean,
it was a very hard call. Yeah, I completely let that project go once that happened. And really, it was a shame because, and I'm not going to name names or anything, but it was a person that I thought I trusted who actually blew it up and made it not work.
It sucks.
They just like ghosted us and didn't tell us why. There was no disagreement beforehand or anything like that. And it was just like they just dropped out of our lives, blocked everybody on everything, no reason, no fight, no nothing.
Wow.
And after that, I was just like, I can't do this because we already started recording. You know, we had recorded like 2 episodes, I think, an episode or an episode and a half before that happened, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm not starting over.
Such a bad feeling, man.
And so I actually I just focused on like doing other stuff instead of like homebrew things, because that was another completely homebrew project that just did not come to fruition.
Gosh, well, I hope that some of that world made it into MistLost. You know,
so none
of
it did.
Okay.
They're actually separate. They're totally separate
You're
things.
Like, absolutely not, dude.
None of it.
It's the opposite.
It still exists. The name is actually kind of a working title, so I'll spare you that.
Cool.
But I'm actually going to be turning that world into a setting for my own TTRPG.
Let's go for your own system.
So, yes, my own system.
Sick, Mandii. That's so rad.
So that is very much in progress. I'm not going to name names of what it is or anything like that.
No, all good.
I'm not going to speak that into existence yet because it's still in very early phases.
Sure.
But yeah.
She will not name names. No, man, that sounds so rowdy. And I mean, I feel like I probably speak for everybody. I can't wait to get, the scoop on that. Like, that's going to be rad.
Yeah.
So Mandii, like, to what degree, whenever you were doing kind of the interviews and the vetting, to what degree was that interview process also filtering through an awareness of the world of MistLost? Does that make sense? Like, were there any players where you were like, you know what, this person's rad, we vibe, I'm not sure how much MistLost will vibe with them or vice versa?
Yes, so there were definitely like cultural questions on like certain things as to whether or not they would vibe with like, so let me rewind a little bit. In the application itself, I wrote vibes for the campaign. Here's the basic, like super basic, highest level premise of the campaign. If you are interested, please scroll on and apply. I put all that stuff at the top. Like, first off, this is not a paid thing. I can't pay you. I'm so sorry. I wish I could. So please understand that you're not going to get money, but you will get character art and free DMing services where normally I would charge people for that.
Yeah.
So understand that. And then here's what the vibes are like. Here's what I'm looking for out of players. Here's what the vibe is going to be at the table. And if you're down with all those things, please, by all means, continue. Because I told people I was looking for folks who wanted a challenge to their role-playing skills, their acting skills.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's really rad. And again, we talked a little bit off stream about this, and of course, like I want to skirt respectfully around any potential dope ass reveals.
Yes.
is part of and so all good if you can answer this. Is part of the reason that you wisely put that forward in terms of, hey, this is going to be, not, I mean, like RP requisite almost, is part of that because of some plot points you have in mind, because of got it, cool, love it.
Yes.
Love it.
So I've already warned the cast for MistLost, and we can talk about them shortly. I shared the visuals with you for that.
Yeah.
But I warned them. I was like, I'm going to throw wild shit at you, and you are not going to be expecting it, because there will be no preamble to it. And I may or may not do wild shit like they do on, oh my god, I'm going to butcher the name. It's Transplanar, I think, RPG.
Yes.
I really look up to Connie a lot. They are an incredible DM, and I hope I got the pronoun correctly. I believe they use they, them. But just absolutely incredible work, and I am very inspired by their TikToks, and so I might be using some of those things.
No, man, I mean, I think
at some point, like I love the notion of like, and this isn't a spoiler, like breaking the fourth wall, for example. I want to do that more in my games. Like, oh no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like the newest one that came out, like, oh no, I want the weak ones to go first.
That's
and
hilarious.
Move somebody up in initiative, kind of shit. Not necessarily that specifically, but like those kinds of things that like the players aren't expecting that just happen in the moment, like at really big, like really big, really tough moments to make it harder, scarier, whatever for them.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, or more emotional, if not scary. During roleplay moments and things like that, if not during battle. So like awesome. Those kinds of things I want to pull from other resources in the space to kind of like throw curveballs at my players. I want to do that more. I mean, I do it in Dinglings fairly often. It's actually pretty funny. I have to keep my mouth shut so much because hey, there's Spectra.
Oh, Spectra, get in here. We're just talking about you, legend.
Best understudy on the planet.
Up.
I have to keep my mouth shut a lot, and it's really hard for me because neurodivergence. Sure. When they come up with theories that are dead wrong about what I'm doing, or what I'm throwing at them.
Just so I understand, it then becomes hard for you to not incorporate
Correct
that?
them.
Correct them. Got it.
It becomes hard for me to be like, actually, that's not what it is.
Yeah.
I have to like shut myself up about that because it's. I don't consider myself a know-it-all. It's just like this weird nagging urge, impulse to like be like, actually.
Yeah, no, it's you want them to have correct information.
Kind of way, but yes, exactly that. Exactly that. I want them to have correct information, but also I'm learning to step back as a DM and just let them be wrong.
Dude, just like my parents did. Exactly. That's the move. I mean, like I think there does need to be like a certain amount of like poker face. Ma. You know what I mean?
So
like
bad at that.
Truly, like there's times where I intentionally I'm just like, oh, just go somewhere else, John. Think about something else, because they're like, you know what I mean? They're like really onto the fact that this guy, you know, is trying to unseal the 9 hells or whatever the heck's going on. Yo, Coven, get in here. That's another one of the dinglings, right? Or am I making that up?
That's Rusty. That's
okay,
Rusty.
Cool.
So that's the half-orc barbarian gentleman.
I can now picture everyone and I know who they are. Matt, I know exactly who you are. Really enjoy you, man. Everyone is in accordance now.
Hey, Marian's here.
Yo, let's go. Should we just play Dingalings? Yeah.
Yeah, let's just.
Can I finally be a villain in y'all's campaign? Let's go.
Oh, listen, we will talk about that.
Yeah, cool. That's gonna be off stream because I want to prime that up.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, well, we talked about the crew. Can I jump over and like kind of reveal the poster?
Let's do it.
Is that tight? Can we like go there? Okay, sick.
Yes.
So we've popped over.
I've already tweeted it. It's on TikTok.
Yeah.
We're just gonna,
now this is them in. If I replace the actual cast photo with the character art photo, will that? I'll rip your throat out. That's so good.
It does.
It does not align. Okay, cool.
It does not align.
Then I'm gonna put both up there so we can sort of just kind of examine and discuss. And that's so funny. She's part of the capture party.
Oh my God, that
Matt,
meme,
you've said too much. You've said too much, my prince.
You're part of the capture party, right,
so
Grief?
Good.
Right, Grief? What capture party?
Oh, dude. My, yeah, no, I won't even, my Tuesday night campaign sometimes like spins off into the chaos zone. And there's been times where I've really seen parallels where I'm like, guys, you're not going to get that information from me, okay?
Yep.
I don't know who that is. Whoa, sorry about that. We are gone. And now we are back. Okay, so I don't want to cover anyone up. I think this is probably going to be the coolest way. Yo, who is that? Hold up. Now I got to raise this to the top. Oh, I didn't even see who that was. Kings? I missed you, King. I missed you, and I blew it. I know you began with King. I'm going to go back through.
Is it King Bashman?
Is it my prince? You know what? Either way, dude, you're the man. They, and truly appreciate y'all's support, man. I love hanging out with Mandii. I feel like I've gotten to know a lot of y'all's game, and it's also sort of inspired and challenged me at the same time.
Oh, it is King Bashman. I was right.
Is it?
Instincts.
Yes. Hello.
You said King, and I was like, I know who that is.
I'm so happy. I love Bashman. It's not Bashman. It's Bashman.
Bashman.
Does King Bashman play with you?
He played with us during, oh my God, words. Tomb of Annihilation.
Oh my gosh,
that
one in
during
between,
Annihilation.
sick.
I played in his campaign, prior campaign that he did as a guest villain. Although I never really got to live to my full villainy potential.
Go. Because you got killed, or what happened?
No, the campaign didn't finish, so I didn't get to be super evil. But maybe someday. We'll come back to it. I just posted a link in chat that is the meme that Matt Lawson made about the last session, which is exactly what Myriad and Matt are talking about in chat.
Oh, let's go.
You're part of the capture party, right, Grief?
Oh, come on, Grief. We all get it, right? Oh, dude. Y'all have so much play. Well, Bashman, thank you for rolling through. Fusca, I completely agree. Amazing art. Amazing vibe. Matt and Myriad and even Spectra, like the moment that you guys are ready to pick up arms and just march against the MistLost cast.
Oh no!
For no other reason than absolute jealousy.
Whoa!
I would say, don't.
Don't.
But I will be there to lovingly and laughingly enjoy that as well. Okay, so walk me through this, because these I don't know anyone other than you, of course. Everyone seems rad. Are they?
Yes.
Are they people that we would, know from? Like, are they on Twitch regularly, or not that they need to be? I'm more just curious if, we would have come across them.
So yeah, let's talk about that. So Captain Charmy, or Charmy, and Lacrimosa, or Mariana, they both are brand new to. They're both brand new to streaming.
Cool.
They're both brand new to actual plays. They both have played TTRPGs, but they are brand new to streaming. So I've been giving them pointers on how to make sure that everything's like copacetic and stuff, because it's like a nerve-wracking type thing. Just
of course,
basic stuff that is like normally what you would call common sense, but if you don't know, you don't know. So stuff like that. So they are both very new to the space. Both are artists. In fact,
awesome.
three of the cast beside myself are artists. Actually, all of the cast except for Alyssa, a disaster queer, are artists. We all draw and write and stuff like that.
Dude, drawing is one of the most impressive skills to me. I can barely play a game of Hangman, and it's like it's so funny to me that you have so many like in one game, literally even on one poster.
Yes.
That's sick. And Sithi, welcome. I missed you, dog. Bugles up.
So, hi Sithi. So I will say, we have two newbies to the actual play scene.
Got it.
Victor, or Evelyn Vicencio, he has been on actual plays. I'm really bad at remembering names of things, but he definitely has been. Alyssa, or Disaster Queer, they have been on many actual play shows. Cool. And so has Akinomi Art. She has been on lots of actual plays, and in fact, both Alyssa and Aki have been on actual plays together. I was not prepared to list names of things, so I don't remember them off the top of my head because I'm so bad with names.
We're not here to push those other APs. We're talking about MistLost, right?
but definitely look up their @. I have them tagged on Twitter. They're in my Discord server. The entire cast is in my Discord server if you want to say hi or look them up or whatever. They're lovely people. It was really important to me, specifically for MistLost, to have a cast of all POC people. I am a Latinx individual myself, and so everybody on the cast is a person of color. I'm pretty sure all of us are also queer, and most of us are neurodivergent, so yay.
So we vibing.
Yes, we vibing. They're very much my people on so many levels, and I'm so excited to work with them.
Dude, and I'm sure they're pumped as well. Like,
oh my God, we've been geeking out for weeks.
Yeah, and it starts next week, guys. Next Wednesday.
It does. Next Wednesday.
The Mandii with 2 eyes. We'll again plug that in at the very bottom.
Yes.
Okay, so whenever they were building their characters, because I'm seeing is that a hoplet? I forget the name of the rabbit race.
Oh, actually, Dayu, Aki's character, is a shifter. That I have flavored to be a rabbit instead of some kind of like predator. So let's go down the line. So we have Alyssa will be playing Revelation, who is an Aasimar druid.
And I'm gonna make this one large and the other one small, just for this purpose.
Yes, please.
So just forgive me as I awkwardly manipulate.
Of course. Just move all the things.
Yeah, look, they don't teach you this in OBS school.
Yeah. Definitely not.
I just don't like it.
So we have Revelation, the Aasimar druid. We have Dayu, the shifter bard. We have Aurora, the fire genasi sorcerer.
That's gonna be sick.
We have Nikita, the wood elf barbarian. She's a big lady. She's a very big lady. I don't know why I'm doing my barbarian's voice, because she's not going to have this voice, but she's a big barbarian.
Let's go.
Big barbarian lady. And oh god, we'll get to that in a second, Bashman. And then Victor will be playing Sinark, the Tabaxi rogue.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've got Druid Bard.
Rogue?
Yes.
Yo, one thing I know about Tabaxi Rogues, and excuse my French, but they fuck up. All right, that's very clear. Respective and sensitive. He's like, I wanted to make a highly dangerous character. No, Tabaxi Rogue is sick. This is amazing.
Yes.
And are they all starting at level 1?
They're starting at level 3. I always start my players at level 3 for all new campaigns. Obviously, with Dinglings, it was different because they had already played through a whole campaign. But in my games, even for like one-shots and stuff, unless it's like a higher level one-shot, I always start people at level 3 because level 1 characters are just too easy to kill, and I don't really want to kill people right away. That's not good entertainment. Yeah. So level 3.
Indeed. Inspector Faye, I'm dying at that as well. That's so good.
And and the understudy is neurodivergent, LGBTQ+. Pigment impaired, I love that.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. 2 out of 3
Listen, I'm half Latinx, so also somewhat pigment impaired. I'm quite pale, in case it wasn't abundantly obvious. But you know what? I have like full-blooded relatives who are blonde hair and blue eyes. So
dude,
we come in all colors, really. Costa Rica represent.
Let's go. I'll toss it
King Bashman says, yeah, right. King Bashman says, is there going to be channel redemption rewards for MistLost asking for a friend? There will be.
Yes, let's go.
I might be editing the channel redemption rewards for MistLost a little bit. I think I'm going to be doing away with the Asmodeus coins because Myriad ruined it for everybody by being like story significance. No, she didn't actually ruin it for everybody. I'm just teasing her. But we're kind of past the point in the story where they are. I mean, they can still be relevant, but story significance.
Got it. Yeah, I'm curious too, Foos. Like, can you? I mean, obviously, Foos and I are late. We can't impact the game. Yes. But how does it work? Like, how did they get in there and toss it up?
So there are bit and donation redemptions that I have listed on my Twitch page. They apply to all of the TTRPG streams that I'm doing. If you donate and do those things while I'm solo streaming, I'm just gonna take your money. I'm not sorry. No refunds. But it's like stuff like a short rest, a long rest, a resurrection if you spend enough money, an NPC if you spend enough money, certain items if you spend a certain amount of money, luck die, which is a free reroll. The Asmodeus coins do have story significance. Myriad. Originally labeled as mysterious gold coins.
Allegedly.
The Dinglings have since discovered that they are that they belong to the treasury of Asmodeus. They are part of his treasure trove, and Asmodeus had a very large.
One thing, like the Dinglings love sticking their thumbs places, right?
They
like
really
pies, closing doors. You know what I mean? Like they're, and I like that's how I play too. Where I'm like,
I love it.
We can't.
I love it so much.
If you introduced it, like clearly I got to go.
Yes.
Check it for traps and then fight it.
But yes, somebody bought mysterious gold coins, and so of course they were looking at them in game when they found them, which very quickly revealed that they are Asmodeus coins, and they have various purposes and story significances that include paying tithe or paying a toll to Death Knights.
Wow. And Death Knights are commonplace in this world?
Depends.
Yeah, okay. Oh, got it.
It depends on how unlucky they are.
Right.
And where they are.
You know what? That's a great, like for me, that's a very compelling hook. Like as a viewer. You were unlucky
in the Shadowfell.
Yeah. Oh, that's sick. Okay. Hold up.
It was Bashman.
Hang on. This is a lot for my smooth brain to handle. I'm trying to process.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to process. Okay, this is very, very good. So, so you're gonna do that similarly for MistLost, but kind of TBD, right? In terms of what it'll be, but it will be some of those same kind of ideas.
A lot of the things will be the same because I don't necessarily have the brain power to make all new random tables for items and stuff. So,
no, for sure. I'm seeing
a lot of them are going to be the same. The Asmodeus coins might remain, but they might have a different significance and a different meaning in MistLost. So we'll see. I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to keep that one.
Oh, that's amazing. Is there really a deck of many things on that list?
There is. Somebody gave me $50 to put that in.
All right, we're done here. Let's go ahead and just redirect the stream.
The price goes up every time it's redeemed.
That is sick. That is so good. Oh my gosh. Did it start at like 20 bits or was it like always steep? You know what I mean?
Yes, 6,000 bits, $60, deck of many things. It was originally $50. The DM will bestow a partial deck of many things onto a random party member for their use. The price goes up every time it's used. Don't waste your money on the dinglings. We won't use it. That's true. No. You guys did get a partial deck of many things, and you haven't used it.
Wait. Myriad's like, don't give us that. We're not going to touch it. I have seen all of y'all quite a bit and really enjoyed it. That's so funny to me because it seems like y'all would immediately be pulling. Would be my take on like the energy of the dinglings. It's like, all right, we all agree at the same time to pull one card.
You did give it away, Matt. It's
dude.
True. You gave it to pirates. You gave them to, well, actually the pirates took them and then they were like, we're going to hold these for safekeeping so you don't destroy our hold. Right. And you were like, yeah, no, you can keep them. And so now pirates have the deck of many things. I
found that pirates get given quite a bit whenever you're on their ship and your ship is burning. You know what I mean?
Listen, that's what happens when you wave around a very rare and mysterious item out on the deck of the ship. Matt Lawson.
Instead of like a white flag, Matt is just like doing that card trick where they like shuffle it from one hand to the other. You know what I'm saying?
Here I am. I was trying to destroy it. You can't set magical items on fire. God damn it.
Dude, that is so good. I am now realizing I really need to go back and punch up my channel rewards, my bits, aka the bongo chongos, because I've got some fun stuff on there. All of it is like actor and sort of LA, like entertainment adjacent for the most part. But I do have one called Find My Dog, which is essentially committed to me once we hit that goal. I mean, in this case, Marley's like, 7 feet away. He's the little smudge.
He's an event. I love him. I love him so much.
Dude, he's truly a prince of peace. But
little Marlito.
He truly is. I'm like Marlito. But I don't know, man. I just love anytime you can find a channel reward that is compelling, but that also for you, like the person that's streaming, that you also find really fun. Like I desperately want people to go ask me to find my dog and then have him be at daycare. And then we're just going to live stream fighting traffic on Beverly. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm so keen on it because I'm telling you, watching Marley run out of daycare, out of doggy daycare, you would have thought this guy just did 40 years in San Quentin. Like he is busting out of the clink like Andy Dufresne. Seriously, like he's coming at me, he's looking, he's like, how long have I been in there? Like, did you forget about me?
Father, don't you still love me?
Exactly. I'm like, right here. Come on, let's go. Okay. So that is hilarious. How dare you redeem a celebrity impression right now, Foos. Okay. Before we get out of here, I will hit that. Think about who you want me to say and make sure that person is preferably a white male, and then hit me with them, and I'll do my best. I do have some standbys, but challenge me. I'll see what I can do. Okay, so I derailed this super hard. I didn't mean to.
It's okay.
I have loved meeting the cast. This is amazing. Mandii did all of this art, by the way.
Yes,
did all of the design, did all of the setup. Oh my gosh, King Bashman.
Oh my God,
thank you so much, dude. Shut up. That is so generous and sweet. Are you kidding me, dude? Thank you, Bashman.
What a
You're
freaking
ridiculous.
lord. What a lord.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout him out. That's so generous of you, man. Come on. I have to. I must. Wait. I just have to remember how to use commands because it's been that long. But Mandii did all of this, man. And
yes, even the photography for the background is mine.
That's so sick. He did all the layouts. Okay, so this is going to shout out Bashman real quick, Mandii, so forgive me as I go dark.
Please do.
Oh, God.
Bro, you're a beast.
How did that happen?
You're a beast. You're a beast.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry, I set you on fire.
See? Don't apologize.
In terms of like,
let's go.
In terms of like channel point redemptions, I added some for channel points because I realized that people weren't really using their channel points so much during the stream games. So I added certain rewards into it. So like hydrate is a really common one, stretch is a common one, posture is a common one, and I yell. Everybody yells at the cast and me to do all of those things so that we all do it. But I've also added like long rest. I added the magical items thing, which are like high amounts of points, but I feel like at this point I have enough longtime viewers that they have those points anyway.
No, dude, yeah.
And then luck die are like 5,000 channel points, which is a lot more accessible for the folks.
Dang, and that's just in with the luck die, you get to more or less hand one player a die. You can be like, hey, you know, like give Myriad the luck die.
Yeah, it's like keeping track of like points, and you can use that point for a reroll, for a D20 roll.
That is sick. God, that's sick. Okay.
It's like advantage, pretty much, but I don't call it that because calling it a luck die is more fun to me.
And especially since like I don't know if you're this way, like so many GMs and DMs have like removed luck from the feat list, right? Or sort of tweaked
I don't remove any of that stuff.
You allow it.
Yeah, all feats.
Cool.
Only feats.
The only caveat that I have with luck is that you need to roll a d4 at the very beginning, and that establishes how many luck die a day you get.
Yes.
Like if you're lucky, you'll get a lot.
I mean, if chat, pretty much as much as chat is willing to give is what they can have.
Got you.
And typically they don't carry over. Well, luck die do carry over from session to session. So sometimes chat will be like, okay, who needs a luck die? Stuff like that.
That's
so
awesome.
You know, it's kind of like what Lord Gasumba does on his channel with hero points. Although hero points are only for very specific scenarios, luck die are much more open and for any D20 roll.
Got you. Yeah. So these are all such like creative, engaging ideas, and you know, Mandii, it's so clear. You know, of course, like you're like a very talented DM that is super thoughtful with their world building, etc. And maybe even doubly so, maybe even more importantly, like is super thorough and thoughtful with how you're trying to build a table, which is why the dingalings are so rowdy and people enjoy y'all's game. You know what I mean? Like there's something to be said for that kind of cohabitation, and to even go further where you're actually kind of like building each other up, or okay, now I know exactly how, you know, whatever, like how someone wants to play in your game, so I want to make sure that I set them up or play to their strengths or challenge them a certain way. And but of course, once we get to the actual AP, and this is kind of what we were talking about a little bit pre-stream, is you then get into the world that is the most demanding of a DM, which whenever it's homebrew, right, is building out the space, building out the relationships, right, trying to get super specific with the how and why. And of course, like, we're all about to tune in, so we don't need a ton of spoilers, but I'm just curious, like, what this process looked like for you, kind of what the genesis of MistLost was.
Absolutely.
And also maybe for, you know, new DMs or younger DMs that want to consider an actual play, maybe some tips that you could kind of toss to them that you learned this, you know, 4th, 5th, 6th time coming around.
So I guess I'll answer this in 2 parts. So I'll start with like the genesis of MistLost. So different ideas for me have come to me or have popped up for me in different ways. For MistLost specifically, it was a dream. And I just kind of built off of that.
As in you, Mandii, had a dream and woke up and were like, oh shit, and like wrote it down. Damn, that's dope.
So I don't recall my dreams very often, but when I do, they're either like super epic and detailed or really bad because, hey, trauma.
Hey, there you are. Hey,
finger guns because I'm bisexual. Get it? So it's.
I went the wrong way.
You have to laugh about it, otherwise you'll cry. But
those are the options.
Yes. So I did have a dream about the world of MistLost, and just like couldn't stop thinking about it. Wrote it down and basically nose to the grindstone. Did not tell anyone about it until I felt like it was fleshed out enough that I could turn it into something.
Which increasingly I'm realizing is one of the most powerful secrets in the world.
Yeah. Is
like kind of sitting on something until you're really ready to birth it into the world. That's amazing, Mandii. How long was that process? Like from dream to incubation to maybe even just putting out the online submissions. A few months. Wow.
So here's something to know about me. If I really want to do something with a thing, if I sit on it too long, it won't happen because I'll get too nitty gritty into making it perfect.
Dude,
and
so
that is the
up.
downfall of many an artist. Finished, not perfect.
Yes.
And also to remember that because I was building this to run as a TTRPG, regardless of what the system was, you have to remember as a DM, as a GM, whatever you want to call yourself, that the players build the campaign.
Yep.
You can run a module all day, but the players build the campaign. The players determine the story. Now, you can have an overarching like skeleton outline, wherever you want to call it, of point A being the beginning and point B being the BBEG, but everything in between and how they get to those things and what kind of ups and downs they have to go through to get to the end goal, that's up to the players.
Yeah.
And so trying to plan out every little thing is only going to cripple your ability to create a homebrew world, to create a completely made-up campaign, even if it's not in a homebrew world. Like, the Dinglings is very obviously run in the Forgotten Realms because I have a great love for Ed Greenwood's work. I love Forgotten Realms.
Me too.
As weird and as open-ended as it can be sometimes. But for me, I treat that like a sandbox, and so there's a lot of things I've added to that world, a lot of towns and cities and locations and culture things and societies and all that stuff I've just tacked on to the Forgotten Realms because that's what it's for. And so like I've catered a lot of that stuff to my players, to the Dinglings. Bye, Matt. Good night.
Truly appreciate kicking it, Matt. You're the man, dude. I'll see you guys soon.
Yes, absolutely.
No, but man, that's extremely, extremely real. I mean,
yes,
you know. And also just to Spectra's, point, I mean, that absolutely can happen. I mean, I think there's, at least in the comedy world, which obviously is super, super serious, super high stakes. But there is, there's such a freedom because we know each other, we're friends. There's so much like, oh my gosh. Oh, can I give you a note? Oh, you know what would be super funny is this. And oh, dude, that's hilarious. Have you thought about making him, instead of a baker, making him a banker or some shit? And maybe they're all really good ideas, but whenever I am still kind of germinating and filtering my own opinions, Inobliterable, get in here.
Hey.
Bugles up. Welcome back.
It's my bestie.
We're chatting MistLost, and we're also just talking about, at this point, sort of like creating homebrew. And now sometimes you need to kind of keep that completely secret and lidded on until you're done. But man, the almost the larger point, Mandii, the idea of not being as concerned with plot points, right? But more concerned with letting your players build out what the story is. And a lot of how that happens being some version of just knowing your geography, knowing your main NPCs. But, once you kind of had the dream, do you then, like, I'm curious, do you have a significant, like, kind of prep session after you've had session zeros and okay, wow, we have a Tabaxi rogue. We've got the Wood Elf Barbarian. We've got, the Druid. Cool. That's kind of how I feel it too. Could you kind of walk us through maybe like what the timeline would look like on that, if you wouldn't mind?
Absolutely. So for MistLost, especially because not everybody was experienced with actual plays, and actually the three that are experienced in actual plays knew each other already.
Yeah, that's fun. That's so fun.
So cool. They were at least familiar with each other, so that really helps bring like the camaraderie up and makes things easier. But from the beginning, once I recruited the final cast, it was really just like, okay, here's the deal. We're going to have at least 2 session zeros. One to talk about safety tools and, general wants, and then just talking to each other about our characters and what you want everybody to know, and deciding whether or not you guys have threads to one another. Do you know each other? You all live in the same city or in the same area, so it's highly possible that you've run into each other or have run afoul of each other's schemes or whatever the case might be.
Yeah, that I love. You're like, or more likely, you fucked up each other's plans.
Yeah, somebody scammed somebody or your friends or whatever.
Yeah, this isn't silver, it's tin, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking tin.
Exactly. Stuff like that. So the first session 0 was completely dedicated to that. The second session 0 was, okay, we've been talking in Discord for however many weeks since the recruitment was final for the cast. What more questions do you have for me? What questions do you have for each other? What kind of planning do you want? What are your what do they call it? I'm so bad with the terminology, like stars and wishes or whatever it is, something like that. Shit. Basically, like, what's your wish list?
Right.
I call it like a wish list. Like, what do you want to get out of this? And they've answered, some of them have answered it to me privately. Some of them have talked about it collectively during the meeting. And then we had another session just a few days ago that wasn't a session 0. It was more of, let Mandii figure out the tech shit so that we don't have to do it day of.
Yeah. I love that sesh.
Setting up the overlay, setting up OBS, all that shit.
No, my version of that is like disguising it as we're about to play. I'm like, all right, great, guys, here we go.
Oh, no. I was like, hey, it'll probably take like 30 minutes at most. It ended up taking an hour because I was having so much trouble with OBS, which is the problem I've never had before with that specific thing. Because I was just setting up everybody's cameras and where they were going to sit on the overlay. And it took me double the time it needed. It didn't help that they were kind of distracting me by being wild because I got them all into one more multiverse. So they all made their little characters and are running around on the map and doing weird shit. And I'm like, every single party I've had that has used one more multiverse, I'm looking at the dinglings because they do this too. And
dude, that's funny.
It cracks me up. I'm not knocking them or anything. I'm not knocking anybody, but it is distracting.
Yeah, no, it is big time.
So they're cracking me up, and I'm trying to do this, and I'm struggling with OBS, and I'm just laughing at them because I'm listening to them chit-chatting with each other while I'm trying to do this, and so it took way too long.
No, man, yes, that's so real. Especially like sometimes that happens just as a DM, anyways. Whenever people are like asking questions and making jokes. And you're trying to remember the lore of this demon lord while also trying to remember the mechanics of Feeble Mind, right? You're like, everybody shut up.
Everybody stop. I need to know if he's immune to this or not.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I have to see if purity of mind stops poison.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude, that's so real.
Fusca says, first episodes are always so jank for me. Oh my God. Fuse.
Dude. Yes. And see, I honestly was going to touch on that because Foos, runs an amazing a set of actual plays herself. If you guys aren't aware of, incredible DM, amazing channel, super fun, such great vibes, such great storytelling. But also, they started because they recorded their home games. Because that's their family. I don't mean to go all the way, but Foos is very much a chronicler.
No, Foos is phenomenal.
Right, and she's literally called that.
Absolutely.
But they accidentally, after they were recording, live streamed a game, and that's what began their whole process. They were like, "Well, we already did it, so let's just do it." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it just goes to show that. I mean, especially with actual plays, and that's such a focus of what we're talking about today. The technical is must-have, and the technical.
I fingered the record button.
You thumbed it.
Yeah.
But the idea of how important it is to have that streamlined, right? To have your cutaways, to have your layout in OBS, to have the artwork where you know it's going to be, everyone's levels, etc. Is that something that has gotten easier for you significantly? Is it still a huge pain in the butt? What's the deal?
Yes and no. So it's definitely gotten easier for me. I finally found. Really, I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Yo, get real, girl.
My layout is basically this, not exactly the same, but basically the same camera layout and stuff as Critical Role. I just took a very simplified frame, because I was realizing after following templates for that other streamers use for actual plays that the cameras were yay big and the frame is yay big. So it's everybody's so small on it and there's all this empty space and it's cool to have artwork in the background for the frame, but the players are the focus. And so I it's not a secret. all you have to do is look at my stream and be like, yeah, that looks kind of like Critical Role's layout. Like I make no secret about it.
Yeah.
Obviously I edited things. I haven't like stolen their artwork. I made my own artwork.
And for the record, you will be hearing from the lawyers, but
the same. Yeah, right. But it's basically the same thing. And honestly, it's so much better because I want the focus to be on the players.
Yeah. 100%.
Layouts are layouts,
dude,
exactly.
100%, yes.
And like I also have like the scroll, like you can see it on Dingalings. I have like the art with the portraits, like they're not animated like Critical Roles,
but it's
I
love
basically the same. Because why wouldn't you have that information on screen? If you're trying to put it all in text, nobody's gonna read it. It's just gonna look busy and whatever. Like a lot of people are like, oh well, we play in a VTT and we want the dice rolls to be visible to chat. Why?
Yeah, I mean, aren't you about to say what it is?
Announce your roles.
Yeah,
announce
exactly,
your roles.
exactly.
That's all you need to do is announce your roles. Like having like, this is just my personal opinion. Some people like it. Like, I'm not gonna badmouth anybody who likes those things. That's if it works for you and makes you happy, great. Go with whoever.
Find your joy, baby boy, and hold on to it. Okay,
exactly.
Hold it close.
Find your joy. If it makes you happy, my personal opinion on it is, I think it makes overlays far too cluttered. And if I log into a stream for an actual play and they've got tiny little cameras and a big thing for dice and a big thing for chat and everything is all like disorganized or there's too much text, I get bored immediately.
Could not agree more.
I get bored immediately. That's just me. My attention span can't handle that stuff. I will probably listen to I will probably listen to a game, especially if it's people that I know who are running it. Like I might minimize it so I don't have to look at the overlay, because looking at the overlay just like irritates me. I don't know why. I'm just picky about that stuff. I'm very picky. And also, like, I have a very hard time watching games where people aren't on camera, but by the same token, I recognize that some people just don't want to be on camera. And that's okay. But from an accessibility standpoint, for me, and just from like, I like to see what people look like when they're acting, because I learn from that and it helps me connect better. Excuse me.
No, of course.
But
I feel that 1,000%. In Obliterable, I will work on that sticker. I guarantee it.
Find your joy, baby boy.
I guarantee it, baby boy. No, but you're absolutely right. Like and part of that is, of course, like probably you taking in a fair amount of live streams. But I'm sure part of it is also going back and like editing your own stuff and being like, you know what, like,
I should do this or I should do that.
Even with, you know, because I record
Insomnia.
My sessions. Yo, Insomnia, dude, Prince. Oh, I screwed it up. My bad. And I've completely goofed us. Hold up. I am back. That's what I get.
What is this art? What is this?
That's what I get. Yeah, where was I? DM Doodle? This is so good. Yeah, we're back. Okay, enough of that. That was whenever I was building a paladin for a buddy's actual play, and or not actual play, his campaign, and those are my inspirations. So what you just experienced was me playing some Alan Jackson on accident.
I love it.
And talking about fat fingering, I really need to remove the page up, page down as being audio prompts. But I
no.
I know. It's because I preset them because they're so close to my number pad. And I'm a creature of habit. But you know what, Insomnia? No regrets, bro. No regrets. No regrets. I wanted to shout you out, okay? And we did. Oh man, we're chilling with the Mandii today. In exactly 1 week, MistLost, a new homebrewed actual play, is coming out on her channel. She's been gracious enough to come back and essentially break us off on, you know, how she went from 0 to starting next Wednesday. And, you know, kind of what that process looks like what she's gotten into, what she's gotten out of it, etc. And I don't want to move off the kind of OBS presets just yet, because it is something that is, like, easier said than done. Insomnia, you know this. Fusco, you know this as well. Like, it is something that once you get it where it's functional, like me with my page up, page down, if you want to call that functional, you're kind of like, well, okay, I have it. It's good. It's good enough. But what Mandii has been talking about is, you know, just how important it is to kind of hone in on your own preferences and how critical it is often for the audience to be able to, of course, clearly hear, but often clearly see especially in, like Fusca mentioned, RP heavy moments.
Yes.
Do you have like combat setup and then RP setup? I believe y'all do, right? Yeah. And do you use Video Ninja? Is that how you're like plugging in cameras or
Skype?
Okay, sick.
I may switch to Video Ninja in the future, but right now I use Skype because it has the NDI plugin.
I did not know that. Are you crazy?
So there's an NDI plugin for OBS that works with Skype. And so it allows me to have everybody's video feeds already there every time I play. And I shouldn't being the key word, have to edit where everybody is every time I load up OBS when I'm in a Skype call.
Got it.
I wish Video Ninja would let you change your background. Yeah, mood. That's my hesitation with Video Ninja. So I may switch to that in the future because honestly, like, I think Skype it leaves a lot to be desired. I'm not a huge fan of Skype, and literally the only reason why I use it, and I tell anybody who asks me, the only reason why I use it is because of that NDI plugin. And it makes it so much easier to use with OBS, but at the same token, it also comes with its own set of problems. So just know that if you are going to be starting in actual plays and have not done them yet, just look up your tools, ask people what they use. And if they try to gatekeep and not tell you, you just come to me. Come to me and ask.
Dude,
I'll share with you everything I know.
Listen,
everything I've ever heard about, I will share with you. I don't gatekeep.
That is so sweet of you, Mandii, and I don't doubt that for a second. Like, they're within, well, yes, I feel like that's so true of the tabletop community. It's like very helpful. If you have questions, roll out. Insomnia, I'm curious, like, what you use. If it's not video, if it's something else. And with the Skype, I guess you are able to individually plug in like members of the chat. Like, you're not having to screen capture and edit just their space. You're able to plug in just their camera by way of Skype.
Yeah.
Is that how it works? That's
just
amazing.
Cameras, yes. Yep.
Got it. Yeah, Skype got badly lapped by Zoom, as we all witnessed. But apparently there's still a purpose. So
I don't know, like, so I like
Discord,
Zoom, and there's
cool.
a lot of games I've played. You just deal with Discord. Oh man, if Discord does not play well with my microphone, it doesn't matter which microphone I have. I just have always had audio trouble with Discord when streaming, and so I just simply cannot use it for my streams. But if it works for you, power to you. That's awesome. Because Discord's so accessible.
Yes.
I wish I could use Discord for my streams, to be completely honest with you. I wish I could.
No.
But the other thing is, like, Zoom, and I don't, maybe somebody at home knows, but Zoom, as far as I'm aware, you can't separate the windows out.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you can't, but what you can do is plug in to OBS, and I don't want to go through it because I'll probably like fuck it up. Late honk.
Oh, do you plug it in as like different sources so that you can have? Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But that is honestly a pain in the butt, because then like you can't even move the screen physically. So I'll put it on another monitor, but I'm still kind of
it's a struggle.
I'm still kind of squeezing that. So I appreciate you guys sharing how you guys go through it.
Yeah, I feel like there's really no one tool that really does exactly what we needed to do for our use case, right? For everybody here who's into actual plays or wants to get into actual plays. I know Fusca's in it. I know Insomnia's in it. All that stuff. Bashman's in it.
Yeah.
I know of a DM, shout out to Praetor's Rejects, who uses a very expensive platform for it. And personally, it's not the kind of money I want to spend on streaming, because this is not my full-time job. I have a full-time job. This is just my passion project. But even if I had the extra money, I wouldn't spend it on stuff like that, because it's just ridiculous to me. But if you got it, use it.
Dude,
if you got the resources, use it.
No, you're right.
No judgments. I know people who use super expensive stuff, and I forget what it's called, but it's a good platform, but it's extremely expensive.
No, it's tough. It's tough whenever you're paying, and particularly whenever it's a subscription. That's what really gets me. Like, can we please get back to the days of me buying fucking software, for the love of God?
Yeah. Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
vMix, that's right. Thank you.
vMix, great. And Bashman, that's exactly what it is. You're setting it up in grid mode, but if there's any physical movement within your own desktop window, it messes up the framing. Or if someone drops out and you have to be added back in, It's a whole fucking thing.
Again, it's why I use Skype, because the NDI, and if you edit it in, we don't want to get into all the techie stuff, but if you edit it a certain way, if you have questions, let me know after stream. If you edit it in a certain way, you can kind of lock where it's located and lock it from getting too big or getting super small.
Got you.
Hey, devs out there.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I were a dev, I wish I could develop stuff, because I could develop a video platform just for TTRPG streamers.
We need it. Spectra.
One-time payment.
Yeah, exactly.
One-time payment.
Yeah, in copper, silver, or electrum. Yeah, I mean. No, that is 100% accurate.
Legit.
You hit it on the nail on the head, Spectra. Okay, so here's the absolute skinny. Here's where we're at, Mandii. Is like if we're being real, we're heading towards a part 3. But I really want to know, like, I guess I still have a handful of like world building questions that I really do want to ask.
Absolutely.
And that's important to me. But I do also need to honor Fuzka's celebrity impression. So that will happen before the end of stream. That will happen.
Yes.
Fuzka, right now I'm leaning between Elvis and Jimmy Stewart. Okay, just because of the articles that I can see around me right now. But if you have an opinion or a heavy opinion, please drop it into chat. But I also, Mandii, I have not done a between two DMs and not done rapid fire. So, today's not going to be the fucking day that happens. Okay, Elvis, it is. So the last couple questions I had about, I mean, I have 1,000,001 questions, but like a very, very pertinent one that I don't want to miss is, you have this dream, like you're putting it down, your wheels are turning, the juice is flowing, you're putting these things down, right? And as you're moving into world building, I really like how you put it, the aspect of, not necessarily being like Act 1. And then whenever they meet the centaur, he gives them this, which initiates Act 2. Because, like, we all know they're going to follow, like, the one dude that you said was missing an arm. They're like, why is he missing an arm? Why is he missing an arm? And so that needs to be, like, afforded, the ability for your players to really, like, be the rabbit, be the canary in the coal mine, you know what I mean? And just raspberries.
That's my reaction to that.
Yeah, exactly. 1,000,000%. But I'm curious, like, Mandii, in of course, like, you don't need to reveal like the proprietary secret sauce. But
no, of course.
But I do love sauce. And
sauce.
and in the example of my current ongoing homebrew, there's been like 1 or 2 vignettes that are almost like scenes in a play or scenes in a movie where I'm like, okay, I know we get there. Like, I know some version of that happens, is revealed or is initiated. But can you just talk about, like, how you sort of either work backwards or work forwards with kind of big campaign plot points?
Yeah, so I'm not going to get too descriptive with the dream itself, but the dream was of the Vale of Night, which is the starting region, country, whatever, for MistLost. This is where all the players are based in the beginning of the campaign. Whether they lived there always or not remains to be seen. You will find out.
Cool.
But the dream was of this place, and I knew in the dream that this place was always nighttime, specifically here.
Cool.
So the Vale of Night has a protective magic barrier over it that shrouds that entire valley. It's a country-sized valley.
Got it.
Surrounded by mountains on all sides, in eternal night. And it is the perfect place for individuals who have sunlight sensitivity, dark vision, problems with being in the sun, health issues that make them light sensitive, whatever that kind of thing is. It's the perfect place for them to live. They're not segmented there. They don't have to live there. It's not exclusively for those people. Anyone can become a citizen of the Vale. But it is a haven of sorts to understand and appreciate darkness in and of itself, because as we know, darkness is not inherently evil. Darkness,
of course, is also known as middle school, correct?
Exactly. It's just a giant middle school. There's nothing else.
No one will speak to you. You're a new kid. You're the new kid every day.
No lakes, no farms, no forests, no cities, only middle school.
No lunch period. It's over.
No lunch period. Yeah, class forever. Sucks to be you. You live here now. No, but it is so I guess I can talk a little bit about the Vale, because that's kind of like the premier location, and everything else can be revealed later on. But in the Vale of Night, basically imagine a fusion of like feudal Japan and Old Norse Viking together.
Cool.
Always at nighttime. And so that is kind of like they have a very specific kind of society. There's not very many towns. There's only one large city in the Vale, and the rest of it is wilderness and farmland and stuff like that. But it is a very idyllic society in that everybody takes care of each other. It's very socialist in that way. In that there are inequalities of material, like monetary wealth, but nobody has to worry about whether or not they have a roof over their head or food in their bellies.
Got you.
Those are things that you don't have to worry about if you live in the
This
Vale.
really is a fantasy land, yes.
It is really a fantasy land. Other countries are not like that, but the Vale is.
Gotcha.
Because it is so small compared to the others. So,
is the Vale, like, does the Vale physically border other lands?
Yes.
Oh, like on the material plane? Okay, cool.
So the Vale of Night is on what you would know as the material plane. It probably it does have a different name.
Got it.
Words. But it is actually smack dab in the middle of the known world. So all the countries bordering it are significantly larger and do not live in Eternal Night.
Yeah, okay, that was going to be my question about Eternal Night. Sick.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is specifically there, and it is not an artificial night either. It is the night sky that you see at night outside of the Vale all the time.
Interesting. And does the moon rise and set?
Yes.
Sick.
Yep.
I love that place. As would my moon druid, Maedra, who is briefly pictured here, but not the guy that's ripped. Okay, whatever, we're done.
Not the guy that's ripped.
Dude, the other guy that's actually a female wood elf.
I love that.
But that's so compelling. Like, I mean, it's
And I did get off on a tangent.
No, that's sick though. That's really, really cool and very evocative. And it makes me wonder, like, what this dream was like, because I imagine you were dreaming you were in the Night Vale.
Yeah, I was there in my dream,
and
there's mist everywhere, and that will get explained as well. And then when I woke up after seeing this place in my head, was like, okay, what is society like? Why is this here? Why do they live in night and nowhere else does? Like, I had this knowledge in my dream that I knew that there was a world outside of the Vale, but that it wasn't the same as the Vale. And I'm like, okay, what kind of scenario would cause this to occur? Why is this world like this? Did they create it that way? Is it naturally this way? And just kind of the wheels started turning from there. What caused this? Why is it so secretive? Why is it so mysterious? Because, like, I had that knowledge in my dream. This is a mysterious place. I need to learn about this. And so, like, it really just, the wheels started, I had to work backwards and forwards. So, like, why is this place like this? Okay, I figured that out. Who wants, what is the driving force behind why the Vale is starting to weaken? That's why, like, that's why all of, like, the promo material I've done for it is what will you do, or what do you do when the night begins to wane? Because the barrier is weakening.
Oh, wow.
What does that mean? What does that mean for the people who live there? They depend on this to live, so every single life in the Vale is at risk because of this.
Yeah.
So what do you do to fix it? Why is this happening? And who's behind it, if anyone?
Dang, man.
How far back do you go? So those are the kinds of things you have to think about. And that's how you get your big bad evil guy. That's how you get your villains. That's how you get your obstacles. That's how you get,
I love it.
all of the tension that they will eventually discover as they move throughout the world.
That's so beautifully put, Mandii. Thank you for sharing that. Like, they talk about a principle in improv, if that, then what?
Yes.
And it applies, I mean, in any, like, real fiction storytelling where you're not drawing from the historical record, right? You're trying to realistically justify. But whenever you enter that formula into fantasy, or into high fantasy, it just gets
there is no
rowdy. Exactly, because like there's magic, there's fae, there's fiend, there's all these things. Yep. That's so beautiful. I feel like this is like weirdly selfish, but it just like reminded me of this, so I kind of want to share this, which was just that I saw one. I think I was like new to Instagram. I was like following something that was D&D-esque, and it was called like minute prompts or it was called plot hooks in a bottle or something like that. But it was all these like really succinct, a blizzard strikes, but there's no snow. Like what? And there was one that was essentially all the books in a land start unwriting themselves. Pages start disappearing and going blank. And,
I love that.
And dude, like I couldn't get it out of my head. And we were doing Dragon of Icespire Peak, but in my head, I was trying to answer the question of like, why the fuck these books that no one knew about and we hadn't established were unwriting themselves. And I mean, spoiler alert, it's because Owen Undertow has the ability to access different points in time across the material plane. So he's more or less stepping back and forth across the weave of what has and has been and is changing things.
Not me writing this down.
Yeah, no, please.
Not me writing this plot hook down.
It is sick, but it was a great example for me of like the smallest thing. I mean, 2-3 sentences that then spun me into 2 years of a campaign. Because then you start throwing stuff in and you have to justify that and ground that. Yep. And it's like it never finishes. Okay.
That's the beautiful thing about being a DM. If you are the one I like to invoke the imagery of the fates, touching the loom or the weave. If you have access to all of the threads, you can justify whatever you want, whenever you want, in whatever way you want, because the players don't have access to those threads. They don't have access to the weave of the tapestry of the multiverse. You do. So really, you can justify anything. It doesn't have to have anything to do with the story that they're on. You could be dumping them into a completely new plot line. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Even the smallest nugget. No, you're so right.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, this has been so rowdy, Mandii. I just love hearing about where you come from and like the process. I have so many people. I usually do Between Two DMs on Wednesday. And it's actually pretty cool. Sometimes I'll get done and people will like slide into my whispers and be like, hey, like I didn't get to ask this, or I wanted to know this. And so often they are directly related to actual plays. Yeah. And, obviously I've taken in, I follow a dozen or so people, half a dozen maybe, that run some really rad actual plays. And I've gotten to speak to most of them. And it's increasing. It's just always so amazing to me how much I still feel like I'm like, oh wow, that's a rad idea, like that, and that's the beauty of collaborative storytelling.
Absolutely.
So here's the deal. I've actually never had someone redeem the celebrity impression on a Between Two DMs. So it's never really been in this scenario. Typically, it's me like goofing around playing Red Dead Redemption. But what I'm gonna do is give you ELVIS, as if he was doing bits of my BBEG's speech that I just wrote last Friday. So I'll see you guys in 2 seconds.
I'm going to run away and listen while you do that.
Great.
Though.
Well, do you even know why I'm here? Why a little boy like me left Memphis in the first place? Did you know that they called my great grandfather the Arrogant One? Now why would they call him the Arrogant One? Was it because he was truly arrogant? And if so, what are they gonna call me? Will they simply call me ELVIS? The Dawnbringer? The World Breaker? I care not.
And that, my friends, has been your celebrity impression here on February 1st, Wednesday, 2023, the year of our God and Lord.
No, don't read.
God damn it, Insomnia! Hold up, dude. I swear to God I will give you one, but I have to tutor this kid in like 6 minutes. and we have to do it.
Oh God, we got to do rapid fire.
I know we have to do rapid fire. This is so funny. Insomnia, I'm writing it down. You fucking beautiful. I'm gonna give you your celebrity impression. If you want to pick basically a white celebrity, go for it. And I will give you my best version. If not, then I will just hit you with one of my favorites. I recently had to read for ELVIS. Obviously, I was playing like a caricature, but hold up. I will give you your celebrity impression, bro. I'm just making note of it. Okay.
Yep.
But we cannot let Mandii off the hook without ripping into some rapid fire. So Mandii, look, this is also the first time that someone has come back on the show. I realized that at like 2 o'clock. I was like, I can't use the same questions.
That's right. I remember them too.
I am mildly boned. As I'm looking at the list, I'm like, this isn't enough. It's not enough questions. So, you know, I might have to toss in a couple. And I remember one time I did that to like John Aldrich. And it was so stupid. I like tried to improv one on the fly, and it was a very clearly established rule that was covered in the Dungeon Master Guide. So I will try not to do that. But are you ready, Mandii, for the rapid fire? Very well. So ready. A cleric, a bard, and a warlock all walk into a dungeon. Which one comes out?
Bard.
The bard? Let's fucking go. He's coming out like buttoning his shirt. Okay, if you had to jam yourself or jelly yourself, whichever you prefer, into one of the following player categories, which would it be? The edgelord, the min-maxer, the rules lawyer, or the actor?
Actor.
The actor, let's go. I was hoping you would say that. I am an edgelord.
You almost had me at edgelord.
Yeah, I know. I'm an edgelord masquerading as an actor. Okay, are we going to the Fey Realm or are we going to the Plane of Nine Hells?
Oh, that's not fair, Fey Realm.
Fey Realm, let's go. It's a tough one. Okay, we go to
I love both though.
I know, right? And both are so like hijinksy that it's like ee. Okay, Scooby Doop, astral plane or fire plane?
Astral plane.
Okay. Wind plane or airplane?
Wind.
Okay. Life cleric or death cleric?
Life cleric.
Life cleric, let's go. Life clerics gives me so much stress as a DM. I'm like, I can't kill anyone. Moon druid or circle of the shepherd druid?
Fuck. Moon druid.
Monk or fighter if you're trying to be the intimidating face of a party? Monk, let's go. Monks to me are so weirdly versatile. I've never played one, but I have one that's getting high level.
All I gotta do is crack my knuckles and be like,
dude,
you really want to do this?
Exactly. Like, why is this person not wearing armor? That's scary. That's scary to me. Okay.
I don't need armor to kill you, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Scarier thing to encounter in a dungeon. A small boy that's lost and somehow immaculately clean, or an old woman wearing rags that won't stop laughing.
A child.
Dude, both are super fucking scary though, right?
Both are so
super. King's Bashman is like agreed.
Why is the child?
Why is the child in the dungeon? Lord. That's exactly right. Foos.
Clearly, it is a demon lord.
Oh my gosh, Lindsay, get in here. Lindsay, as soon as you said edgelord, they have arrived. You are welcome, and we are glad to have you. Okay, where the fuck was I? Okay, yeah. Scarier person to wrong. The mayor of the town or the Oliver Twist beggar asking for a copper?
Beggar.
You never went across the beggar, right? You don't know who they are or what they're doing. Agreed.
They have friends.
They have friends in equally low places. Okay, better BBEG. A level 20 wizard or a level 20 warlock? Warlock, okay. I asked that because I myself was really between the two of them and ended up going wizard, but as I'm like adding stuff to him and weird little layer actions, I'm like, is he actually a warlock? Okay, last one that I was able to do as I panically realized that I was short. Better BBEG, a demon lord or a dragon king?
Demon lord.
Demon lord, okay.
Demon lord.
Wow. I was torn on that. He's multi-classing. Oh my god. Dude, we've done it. Mandii, You've made it all the way home.
I did.
I love hanging out with you, dude.
I love hanging out with you.
Like, I mean, I really mean that.
I feel like we need a show that's just us all the
time. Yeah. Or at least like every other month, a time where we can come in right. and I can just like riff off you and we can just get updates like as to what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I mean with the Warlock, if the patron is mad enough, he can come smack you after you take care of his minion. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
At level 20, you've basically made your patron your bitch. Much.
Yeah. I love the question of where the player
Cthulhu? Well, he's here actually.
Get in here. Yeah, exactly. And Lindsay, I appreciate that follow. Welcome. Stream a ton of D&D stuff. But I guarantee you, in the coming weeks and months, as my party approaches the end of this campaign, somebody, and I've never killed a player, somebody's gonna die. Yep. This guy has level 9 layer actions, like 9th level spells. He's coming for that ass. But guys, thank you so much. Like Foos, I love you. Spectra Faye, thank you for rolling through. Lindsay, I mean, so many first time peoples. King Bashman gifted like 5 subs.
Yes.
Insomnia Knight, listen, dude, what you have is a digital coupon, bro, for a celebrity impression. Don't think I forgot, baby boy. Don't think I forgot. Yeah, I know how Mandii likes to run her stuff. Mandii, can you play us off? Like, where can we find you? Remind us when MistLost starts. Feel free to drop it into chat if that's better.
You can find me all over the internet at the Mandii. I'm just gonna put a little smiley face in chat. Especially on Twitch. I am over 1,000 followers now.
Yeah, let's
here
go,
on Twitch,
dude.
Which is wild. I'm almost up to 1,100 already. Which why have you done this to me? You can find me everywhere under the same name. MistLost starts February 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Twitch channel. It is entirely homebrew. It's very narrative. It's very evocative.
Dude.
It's very roleplay heavy. Please come support me because I'm scared.
Yo, hey, and
I need somebody to hold my hand in chat.
It's because you care about your products and you've put a ton of work in, and it's going to be absolutely rad. Spectra Faye, thank you for that. Fuzka, I also love monks. Everybody, next Wednesday, we're going to be at the Mandii. We're going to be scoping that out. Guys, I really am just like dashing only because I have a 415 tutoring. But I do like to end every D&D session I do by rating someone else that's doing D&D. It's just like fun for me, man. Like Mandi's rated me before. The first time I did D&D stuff, I got raided and I was like, what the fuck is a raid? And once I realized that I wasn't being like shadow banned by Twitch, I realized, dude, this is rad. And it's such a great way to connect and like uplift people. So we're about to pop in an Ultra Rustic Latte. She's amazing, dude. Love her. She's chatting with another very talented DM who I've had on the show, who I love hanging out with, Mim111. And if you can, just, give him some support, some love. Tell him Carpe sent you. And if not, I think we already left. And we're gone.
Ran out.
Oh, it's so classic.
That happened to me.
I do that constantly, dude. That
happened to me 2 weeks ago during the Dinglings game. I was like going through my whole spiel.
Yeah, you're like, and we're out. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I got cut off in the middle of my talk. Oops.
I know. That's like, I need to like hit you up, even like with like the pre-stream. Like, I hate being super cheap with how I don't want to be a hack at Twitch. Like, I am technically proficient. I do a ton of editing. Yes. I just want to get better at it.
I will show you all the things. I will Discord you later because I know you have to run. So we will catch up, okay?
Cool. Mandii, truly, thank you so much.
Thank you again
this was
so
awesome.
Much. This was great. I love this.
Yeah, back at you. I'll holler at you on Discord.
Have a good one.